Coming up on City Span, voicing their concerns about the problems they face and offering up solutions. Savannah youth have their say. Commemorating Savannah's contribution to the war effort, 70 years later. Combating crime the old-fashioned way, police put the heat on criminals. And celebrating the life of jazz great Ben Tucker, New Orleans style. Stay tuned, City Span starts right now. Hello everyone, I'm Margaret Williams. Welcome to City Span, your source for news and information about Savannah City Government. First up, hundreds of Savannah's youth gathered at the Savannah Civic Center last month, joined by city and county officials and community leaders for Youth Summit 2013, and it was the young people doing the talking, voicing their concerns and offering up solutions, with the help of the adults in attendance, to the problems they face. And those listening vowed that the concerns expressed during the summit would be addressed. City Span's Jody Jenkins has more.
Billed as Your Savannah, Your Future, Your Choice. Youth between the ages of 11 and 20 met in small groups with facilitators throughout the arena. They discussed issues such as bullying, a lack of jobs, drugs, and the need for more recreational facilities. Area officials and event organizers lauded the summit before keynote motivational speaker and author Yvonne Williams rallied the crowd with a sobering and earnest call to action.
I just want to say this to you. See, I know how it feels to cry yourself to sleep at night and be so depressed that you want to slit your wrist and hang yourself, and you don't want to wake up the next morning because you feel so lonely and you feel like there's nothing in this world that can make you feel any better. Let me tell you why you feel that way. Let me give you a little commercial break. You feel that way because you were born with purpose. You feel that way because you went through everything you had to go through just so you can come to this event tonight, so you can use what you know and use what you have to reinfect your community and make it better.
Williams challenged the youth attendees to break the chronic paradigm of poverty and desperation by believing they were worthy of more. Savannah Mayor Pro Tem and moderator Van Johnson vowed that the event was not simply political posturing or an attempt to placate youth concerns with platitudes.
We've heard some very good dialogue going on, and we want to know what you think. Also, notes were taken, surveys were done, and those will also be a part of a bigger document that will be released to this community, giving you the results. We did not intend, the mayor did not intend, Dr. Thomas did not intend that this be a one-night thing. You will hear from us again.
Then representatives from the various youth working groups at the summit presented their findings. Concerns ranged from drugs, crime, and recreation to the necessity for stricter controls on youth to help keep them out of trouble.
I feel like our voices are heard because there's so many people here willing to listen, like city officials, and everybody just feels like they matter.
The summit was jointly hosted by the City of Savannah and Chatham County. Students who participated received community service hours as part of their requirement to graduate.
You can watch the entire summit online anytime by clicking on the SGTV link at savannahga.gov. In other youth news, the 29 members of the Savannah Youth Council graduated during a ceremony at City Hall last month. The students, all of them Chatham County 8th graders, have spent the past year learning about government and undergoing leadership and public speaking training. In addition, the students participated in mock council meetings, participated in the Rock and Roll Marathon, and visited with elected officials at the Georgia State Capitol in Atlanta. And according to participants, it's all about preparing them for future leadership roles.
It really prepares you for what you're going to run into in older life. When you get to high school, it's going to help you gain new friends, it's going to help you talk in front of people. It'll just help you overall with who you are.
All in all, it's just a great experience because you get to meet new people and learn a lot about the government and learn great speaking skills that will definitely help you later in life. So I would strongly recommend joining it.
The program is organized by the City of Savannah as part of an effort to engage our young citizens with their city government and create a more involved public. According to Mayor Pro Tem Van Johnson, engaging our youth and encouraging them to become stakeholders in our community is the core of the program's mission.
This is our opportunity to really provide direct services to young people. We have to do our part, and the Youth Council is our part. It's our opportunity to try at a much younger age to engage young people, to get them to learn about their government, that hopefully as they get older they will be stakeholders in the government and in the city in which they live. We want them to have an appreciation for Savannah. We want them to love Savannah. We want them to be able to, if they go away to college, come back to Savannah, make Savannah their home. We realize that begins at an early age with developing appreciation for their city.
50 new members of the Savannah Youth Council will be sworn in at a ceremony in August. We'll have more right here on CitySpan. Neighborhood residents, friends, and family joined city officials on June 11th in Coffee Bluff for the dedication of the Mary Bootsy Johnson Bridge. Johnson, who died in 2009, was a 30-year employee of the city of Savannah, a neighborhood leader and supervisor at the city's Crusader Community Center, located just down the road from the bridge. At the dedication ceremony, Mayor Edna Jackson praised Johnson for turning the Crusader Community Center into a second home for many.
It was like a living room for everyone. She made sure that the plants were there, the couch was there. And that is the kind of atmosphere that Mrs. Johnson wanted to have in her center.
Alderman Thomas, whose 6th district includes Coffee Bluff, lobbied to have the bridge named in Johnson's honor. He said she was a tireless advocate on behalf of children and seniors in the area and an inspiration to others.
In so many ways, Mary Johnson was a bridge. She was a bridge of caring, a bridge of understanding, a bridge for people that needed love and someone to love them. She was a bridge of inspiration that offered hope to people that needed it the most. She was a bridge of compassion and a bridge of love.
The ceremony ended with Jackson, Thomas, and members of Johnson's family unveiling the sign for the bridge that now carries Johnson's name. You can watch the entire ceremony on the city's YouTube page, youtube.com/City of Savannah. From the Savannah Bells Ferry to the DOT Downtown Shuttle to environmentally friendly hybrid buses, Chatham Area Transit, or CAT, is an important piece of Savannah's transportation plan, providing a variety of options for residents and tourists. CAT's Patricia Hawkins has more.
Hi, I'm Patricia Hawkins with your monthly CAT update. First up, just a reminder to our customers that ticket sales are currently unavailable at our 900 East Gwinnett Street office due to ongoing construction at that location. Tickets can still be purchased at the CAT Central office located in the old courthouse building at 24 Bull Street. In other CAT news, it's almost summer vacation for the students, and that means we'll be partnering with the Savannah Chatham Public School System for the Ready, Set, Go Back to School initiative. This annual project collects school supplies for the upcoming school year. Beginning June 10th, customers will be able to drop off donations on any CAT bus. Collected supplies will be distributed at the Civic Center on August 24th. Last year, more than 5,000 children received book bags filled with supplies thanks to the generosity of our riders. And finally, we'd like to thank our customers for their patience during our transition from Veolia Transportation back to Chatham Area Transit. In April of this year, the Chatham Area Transit Board voted to return direction of daily transit operations back to the board. The CAT Board is pleased to have retained the services of Dr. Chadwick Reese as its CEO and Executive Director. Dr. Reese formerly served in the same capacity under Veolia Transportation. And while the transition did result in some inconveniences, especially with some features of our website, please note that we are working hard to make catchacat.org even better than before. Look for the improved site to be launched in the coming weeks. Until next month, I'm Patricia Hawkins, and as always, thank you for catching a cat.
Coming up on CitySpan, sacrifices remembered and contributions celebrated. And later, Indian folk dancing, Aaron Seals style, on this month's The Beat.
It's time once again for the city's annual summer lunch program. Kids ages 18 and younger can enjoy a picnic-style lunch at more than 70 locations throughout the city. Free nutritious lunches will be available Monday through Friday. Check out our website at www.savannahga.gov or call our non-emergency information line at 311 to find a location near you. The City Summer Lunch Program. It's food that's in while school is out.
An important part of Savannah's history and a significant contribution to the Allies' success in World War II was remembered and honored last month with the unveiling of a plaque on Hutchinson Island. The plaque commemorates the building of Liberty ships, quickly assembled cargo freighters that formed a lifeline for Allies in Europe, ferrying much-needed food and supplies to help keep them in the fight against Nazi Germany in World War II. And they are widely credited with turning the tide of the war. In all, the Southeastern Shipbuilding Corporation of Savannah built 88 Liberty ships at a cost of $2 million each. It was the largest employer ever in the Savannah area, with more than 45,000 workers at its height. City Span's Jody Jenkins has more.
Dorothy Van Dolteren Wise was 13 years old when her father died. He had joined the Merchant Marine as a young man, but had given it up for the family life. With the coming of World War II and his 16-year-old son in the Navy, he left his job in the Savannah shipyards building Liberty ships and joined the crew of Savannah's first Liberty ship, the SS James Oglethorpe, in the hopes of finding his young son and bringing him home out of harm's way.
He was going to New York to get my brother out of the Navy. He had tried to through Washington and he couldn't get any headway. And so he got on that ship and he's going to go and save my brother.
But it wasn't to be. On its maiden voyage, 500 miles off the coast of Newfoundland in the North Atlantic, the Oglethorpe and two other merchant ships in a convoy were struck with torpedoes from a German U-boat. 44 members of the 74-man crew went down with the ship. Dorothy's mother wasn't home the day word came, and the 13-year-old had to sign for the telegram bringing the news that her father had disappeared at sea. The memory is still painful, 70 years later.
I had to sign for it, and I turned to my two little sisters and brother and I said, let's hope it's not what we think it is. And read down to where it said missing and presumed lost, and we lost.
Such are the stories that lie behind the history of the Liberty ships. The men and women and families and sacrifices from an era of sacrifice. And the role they played is now commemorated by a plaque, unveiled in May at Savannah's World Trade Center, not far from the site where the shipyards once stood. 70 years after the launching of Savannah's first Liberty ship, the City Council issued a proclamation recognizing Savannah's contribution at this crucial moment in history. And an exhibit in Council chambers on the second floor of City Hall recalls a dramatic story that is faded in the collective memory. The exhibit is on display through December. It can be viewed on City Council meeting days every other Thursday and during the first Tuesday tours of City Hall each month at noon.
The Liberty Ships exhibit in City Hall is part of an ongoing series of exhibits commemorating and recognizing significant events, people, and periods in Savannah's colorful history, and are an opportunity to showcase items from the city archives. For more information about the exhibits, contact the city's research library and archives at 651-6411. Savannah has done it again. For the fourth straight year, it's been named one of 217 playful cities across the U.S. by the Humana Foundation. The award is given by Kaboom, a national nonprofit organization dedicated to giving kids the childhood they deserve by making play a part of life. Created in 2007, the award is aimed at promoting play among local, regional, and state governments and community groups as an essential part of children's well-being.
Again, it shows that our commitment for this city and community to have places to try to improve our youth to be active, because we know a healthy lifestyle is something that we have as one of our goals to improve. So
Savannah has almost 60 playgrounds, over 650 acres of parks, 14 community centers, and 9 public swimming pools. And Savannah encourages play to be part of neighborhood and business development plans. It's not just our playful side that's being recognized. Savannah was recently chosen as one of 5 cities internationally to receive the prestigious Charter Award for recognition of excellence in urban design for its redevelopment of Ellis Square.
Ellis Square, one of the original 4 squares laid out by founder General James Oglethorpe, was returned to its original purpose of a public space through an unprecedented public-private cooperation that breathed new economic and social life into the heart of the city.
Ellis Square project has brought vibrancy to our downtown area, and the project itself is an excellent example of a public-private partnership and what this city can do with the community working together and planning together as a whole. The project will go down as one of the best in the history of the city.
One of the best in a city filled with examples of forward-thinking preservation, and now on the cutting edge of urban renovation. A project that included the most comprehensive public process in the history of the city. 20 public meetings for input on what shape the square should take. $34 million in public investment that led to the creation of 50 private homes, 35,000 square feet of retail space, 80,000 square feet of office space, and 150 new hotel rooms. Citizen Services Director Susan Broker, who attended the conference, said the award was confirmation that Savannah's original ideas about planned, controlled growth were valid and still hold true today.
Savannah, our project was juried by lead urban designers from across the world, from South Africa to Italy to the United States, folks that are really the professionals in urban design. And so what sets Savannah apart, I think, first of all, is we have the genius of the Oglethorpe Plan. And the second thing is that we recognize that is what we need to restore. And we had good urban design in 1733, and we still have it today.
This year's award is Savannah's 4th, a testament to the city's role as an urban touchstone in America.
Since 2008, as part of its Thrive initiative, the city has been working to make Savannah a greener place, instituting programs to help reduce the city's carbon footprint and promoting an eco-friendly and sustainable community. City of Savannah Sustainability Coordinator Garrison Marr has more on a new awards program that will recognize achievements in green building practices.
Walking through Savannah's parks with its live oaks and blooming plants, it's clear that Savannah has some great green spaces. But Savannah's home to some great green buildings too, and we want to hear about them. The City of Savannah is partnering with the Savannah branch of the U.S. Green Building Council to host the Savannah Green Building Awards. These awards will recognize some of the city's highest achieving buildings in residential and commercial construction, as well as recognize an individual and organization that have made meaningful contributions to local sustainability initiatives. If you've been involved in a green building project in the City of Savannah in the last 3 years, submitting that nomination is free and easy. Simply visit savannahga.gov/building awards to find the forms for nomination. Winners will be recognized at a U.S. Green Building Council event in August in downtown Savannah. So that's one more way to recognize the great green building projects in Savannah, and one more way to think green, Savannah.
Still ahead on City Span, teaching your kids about money and the importance of savings. And Savannah says goodbye to a legend, celebrating the life and music of Ben Tucker. Welcome back to City Span. I'm Margaret Williams. Local law enforcement is putting the pressure on the criminal element in an ongoing operation called Total Focus by responding in force to crime wherever it happens. It's an effort to strengthen the cooperation between residents and police and to let residents know that the law is there when needed. While the tactic isn't new, it's being used more frequently to dampen crime in areas seeing spikes. And according to Savannah Chatham Metro Police Chief Willie Lovett, it's working.
Operation Total Focus, an effort to combat crime before it even occurs by using an intensive concentration of law enforcement on the ground to flush out potential offenders and to respond to calls in force. Using zero tolerance in areas with crime spikes, officers from Savannah Chatham Metro, the Sheriff's Department, and other anti-crime agencies take the fight to the streets, targeting known criminal elements and potential criminals. The purpose is to put them on notice that the heat is on and to let citizens know they're not alone. Matt Cross of Savannah Chatham Metro is one of the officers in a flying squadron that responds quickly wherever and whenever they're needed.
We have a lot of burglaries and stuff down here, so anytime you see somebody out on foot, you just want to try to engage them and figure out why they're out, why they're moving, where they're going to, and where they're coming from. Violations like walking in the street, because a lot of people will use the street instead of using the sidewalk when there's provided, which gives us a reason to stop them. Or also walking with traffic instead of against it. We look for a lot of people on bicycles that are, in violation, maybe not having a light on their bike at night. Just little things like that that can provide a reason that we can get out and stop and talk to somebody and make some kind of contact with the citizens.
Total Focus is an effort to build better working relationships between law enforcement and neighborhoods to make residents feel safer about where they live. Patrols do home visits, serve warrants, set up roadblocks, and stop people in the streets to show an active presence in the community. It's combined with a law enforcement public relations effort that involves face-to-face time to get to better know the citizens they serve. And while the tactic has been used for years, Savannah Chatham Metro Chief Willie Lovett is making them more frequent to put a lid on crime.
We have had great success with this. If you look at the crime stats during the time that we have Total Focus, almost drops down 40% less than what it was when we don't. And this whole thing is designed just to make sure that we have the upper hand on the criminal element, make sure that they never fully understand where we are and what we're doing.
Levitt said that while the proof of the program is in the positive results, not everyone is happy with the success law enforcement has been having.
For the most part, the community is very acceptable to what we're doing, but anytime you have an operation where you're going to arrest somebody, everybody's not excited about it. So when we have roadblocks, we have people who get caught for DUI. They're not excited about the fact that we have roadblocks. We have people who we've been looking for all the time that we serve warrants on. They're not excited about the fact that they're going to jail. So you're going to have some pushback, but usually if you dig down into it, you find out that those people who are pushing back are the ones that we're actually looking for.
Each month on City Span, we team up with the folks at Bank on Savannah, an initiative of Step Up Savannah, to provide you with some easy ways to help make the most of your money. Richard Reed from Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Savannah has more on how to talk to your kids about money and the importance of saving.
Did you know that most people learn money management through trial and error? Many parents don't talk about money with their kids because of the stress involved or because they don't feel like experts. Since it's best that our kids learn about money at home than not at all, here are a few tips on how to teach your kids about money. The first step is to start early. Preschoolers can practice playing with and identifying coins. You can give them a piggy bank and have them put a little in it every time they receive money. You can also explain work, the difference between needs and wants, and let them know they may have to wait before they can buy something they want. The second tip is to use real-life situations. Take your child or children grocery shopping and have them compare prices for you. Introduce them to tellers and bankers at your local bank or credit union. When you use the ATM or balance your checkbook, show them what you're doing. And when you go out to eat, let them practice their math skills by having them calculate the tip. Just make sure to double check so that your waitstaff is tipped fairly. The everyday practice with money will help kids feel more comfortable with it. While many families give their children an allowance for incidental items, make sure you have them perform certain basic chores without getting any money. Then, when you pay them for additional chores, like raking leaves or washing the car, it will help teach them the value of a dollar and work ethics as well. And finally, teach your children the habit of saving. Urge them to save a portion of their allowance or any other money they receive. And consider matching some of what they set aside to encourage the saving habit. By following these simple tips, you can help your children have a more realistic and responsible relationship with money and provide them the foundation for a secure financial future. Coming up next month, how you can save money on your energy bills during the hot Savannah summer. Until then, I'm Richard Reeve, and you can bank on this.
One of Savannah's most colorful and vibrant festivals is the Savannah Asian Festival, now in its 18th year. To prepare for the celebration, the Beat's Erin Seal visits a group of Indian folk dancers to try her hands and feet at some traditional dance, combining sticks, fancy footwork, and clapping. You could call it the Indian equivalent to line dancing.
I'm going to improvise this bowl right here. All right.
It's actually, you know, in the olden days in the villages, this is for a water container. You'd go to the river, get your water, and bring it home.
Drinking water. Okay.
So this bit of song really is that she goes to the river and to get some water, and she sees her beloved.
Oh.
You know.
Oh.
So this is basically, that's what the first song is about.
Oh, right. Okay. So she sees her love of her life, and she's doing a dance with him with the water. Okay, nice.
So, you know, while she's going to go fetching water, she sees him. So.
That doesn't happen to me when I go get water.
Namaste.
Namaste. What does that stand for?
Actually, it's a respect given to you. Actually, when we do this, you know, when we're doing this, namaste, actually we are bowing to the God within you, and you are bowing to the God within me.
Okay.
And it's a respect that we give to a fellow humans.
You can be do for that dance, stick with that other dance.
And these are the dancing sticks. And what do these mean?
You do it with them.
How do you want me to do this? I don't know how to use these.
We can use that. Or we can just do regular North American.
Oh, okay.
We can do the dancing.
Yeah. Do I have to be on beat?
Savannah's Asian Festival is one of Georgia's largest and is one of several major festivals funded by the city of Savannah each year. And finally, hundreds turned out for the June 10th funeral service for Savannah resident and jazz great Ben Tucker, who was struck and killed by a motorist on Hutchinson Island. Tucker, a bassist and composer with over 300 credits to his name, played with such greats as Herbie Mann, Ellis Marsalis, Buddy Rich, Peggy Lee, Quincy Jones, and Sam Cooke. Following the funeral at the Evangelical Lutheran Church of the Ascension, family, friends, community leaders, and fans spilled out into Wright Square for the start of a traditional jazz funeral procession down Straight Street to Barney Street, ending in Ellis Square, where more fans and tourists and curious onlookers were on hand for the memorial concert. Tucker was 82. That's going to do it for this edition of City Span. Don't forget, for the latest news and information about the City of Savannah, keep it tuned to SGTV. Visit our website, savannahga.gov, or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, I'm Margaret Williams. Thanks for watching, and thanks for making Savannah your home.